So people, what you're saying, and we're back with another video. And today we're gonna be doing the preview to Ham United versus Arsenal at the London Stadium. You get it? But before we get into any of that, yeah, just make sure you're dropping a like on the video, dashing that kunai. We need to get as many likes as possible. And a comment, get the algorithm, them way there. And if you're new here and you like what you see, subscribe to the village, man. We need so much more Shinobi in the village. We're trying to grow, we're trying to accomplish all our missions, and for that, we need you. And hit the bell so you're notified whenever I drop any new content as well. And I mean, you might as well check out some of the stuff I've done over the recent as well. Football interviews with fans, loads of streams, combined 11s, watch alongs, you name it. It's on the channel. So look, yeah. Arsenal are coming off the back of two, I would say, very big wins. They were two must-win games. And well, at least in my opinion, they were two must-win games, and we won both of them very convincingly, while putting in a very good performance. We played very good, and that's been something that's been a bit of a problem for Arsenal. I would say for maybe a 5-game period, is that we just weren't playing football. We weren't playing well. We was playing some diabolical, disgusting things. We looked way too slow. We wasn't able to transition well. We weren't really playing with any kind of intent, no ruthlessness. And we was making a lot of stupid mistakes. But going into this game, we're off the back of an Inter Milan game that we lost, but I do think in the second half, we showed that we are able to pin a very good Inter Milan side back and dominate and impose ourselves. We just weren't able to score. Yeah. And then Chelsea, I think we were the better team. I do think it could have gone either way, but I think we played really well. And we probably could have got the W there. But, away at Stamford Bridge, the way that they're playing at the moment as well. Cool, I'll take the point. We absolutely, after the international break, absolutely obliterated Nottingham Forest. I don't care what anyone says. Absolutely put them in a spliff. Yeah. And then we played a Sporting side that were on 100% record in their league. Out of 4 games, only drew one, won all the others in the Champions League. They were second in the Champions League at the time. They'd scored 9, conceded 2, and they had, well, not had because they still have him, the hottest striker in form at the moment in world football. We smoked them 5-1 at their ground. Crazy. We don't usually do too well in Portugal as well. But we changed that. We really put them in their place. We played scintillating football. And I'm seeing a lot of positives in the players at the moment. I'm seeing Partey really play well, really play into form, really be a domineering presence, always trying to break the lines, feeding that ball into Erdegaard as quickly as possible, marshalling, octopus as they call him. I'm seeing Timber just all round game, just 9 out of 10s, really. Not only is he solid defensively, but he's actually contributing quite a lot to Arsenal's build up and contributing quite a lot in the final third, linking up with the attackers. You got Saka, who's just Saka, innit? Saka's just always going to be Saka. And then you got Erdegaard, our captain, who he's come back and really filled a void. Really filled a void. The impact that he's had, not only on the ball, but off the ball as well, has been insane. He's actually kind of breathed new life into the team. And I think that that's a sign that he's an amazing leader, and he really does inspire other players around him. You know, he's back to directing players on the pitch. He's back to controlling, the tempo. He's back to controlling how we press. He's back to triggering the press. He's back to just being a nuisance all over the pitch. He's back to showing us, those little flicks and tricks, and he's he's showed us why him and Saka are such a good partnership. Like it's and you know what? One thing as well, we actually played different lineup from the Nottingham Forest game to the Sporting game, and we played. Expect us to play in both, so that gives me a lot of positives going into this game because now I'm not thinking like, okay, I want to see a specific lineup. Arteta's shown me that he can switch up the lineup and still play in a way that I want to see. So I'm kind of relaxed on the lineup. I don't really mind who plays. That's at least how I'm feeling at this very moment. Um, West Ham have been on abysmal form. I know they won their last game at Newcastle 2-0, but I don't think that means much. Like I expect us to steamroll them. You know. So with my prediction show with George, I maybe I took it a bit too far. I was having a bit of fun with it. I predicted a 5-0. I was because I do think we're gonna dominate them. Maybe it won't be 5-0, but I do think that we'll be able to keep a clean sheet. I do think that we'll score a lot of goals. Don't get me wrong. I do know that Bowen is a threat, but I just don't rate their manager at the moment. I don't rate a lot of their players. I feel like a lot of us was overwhelmed by or maybe not overwhelmed. Maybe the better word is we all highly overrated their transfer activity. We thought they was going to do a lot better, but it just seems like something's not clicking. I'm also pretty sure that Kudus isn't available, so that's definitely going to work out in our favour. And I just expect a routine win. I want to see us. We've won 2 games now. I want us to go and win the next 10. This is where we build up our streak. We're coming towards the end of November, going into December. We all know how hectic the December period is. Loads of games, thick and fast, playing a game like every 3 to 4 days. We got a good chance to build up some real momentum. Really come into I guess you could say our flow, hit that flow state. That like all the like high performing athletes talk about. Like just get into that zone where it's just like win, 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 perform to the best, and just have to hope that Arteta is able to rotate in a way where we avoid injuries and batter teams. Like we need to make teams fear us again. Yeah, and look, I just want to cover over a few things from Arteta's presser before I actually go into like thinking about a lineup. Um, so he was basically asked, I guess the response since the international break, and he goes, "I don't link character to winning. This team showed unbelievable character against Inter, and we lost. Showed unbelievable character against Chelsea. We were the better team. We didn't manage to win. Same players, same intentions, being more efficient and winning matches. That's the difference." I kind of agree here. You know, I well, aside from the like not linking character to winning, I think you can link it to a degree. Um, you know, uh, but I get what he's trying to say. You don't only have character if you win. Do you know what I mean? You can still have character and not win. Like sometimes you just can't win. Like I think in football, a lot of people forget that on the flip side, the other team is probably having those same sort of like battles, right? Like because it's not just Arsenal versus a bunch of silhouettes. Like there's other athletes, other footballers, other players that are really good, that are fighting for something as well. So then it just becomes about who those margins, like who's gonna do that little bit more to make something happen. Like who is luck gonna favor, you know, in any given moment. So I do think he is correct here. Um, we were a lot more efficient in the Nottingham Forest game and the Sporting game, and hopefully we can carry that efficiency across. Um, and then obviously he's he's spoken a bit about being like, well, us needing to be near perfect to catch Liverpool, and it's like, well, if they continue that way, that's for sure. The numbers they're producing, the number of games they're winning, but again, it's just the focus is on us and maintaining the consistency, especially in performances that's going to give us the right to win a lot of games, keep the availability in the squad, keep everybody together, and this is a long run. We're at the point now where we can only focus on ourselves. Like, I mean, yeah, as fans, we're going to be paying attention to, what Liverpool are doing, what Man City are doing, what Chelsea are doing, yada, yada, yada. But I think the players, manager, all the staff, they just need to think about, cool, next game, West Ham, win it. Cool, we won that game. Cool, game's done. Take what we can from it. Learn from it what we can. Cool, Manchester United, next game. Focus on that, win that. That's all we can do, game by game. I even say training session by training session. The players can't be looking too far forward. The players can't really be paying attention to what's going on, and as long as we focus on ourselves and ensure that we're doing the best that we can, eventually, maybe luck will swing in our favor. But it is out of our hands. It is out of our hands. We kind of need Liverpool to have a stumbling block somewhere along the line. Because let's just say if we win the remainder of our games for the rest of the season, like, do you know what I mean? Like, if Liverpool win the remainder of the games of their season, then we can't win the league. That is impossible just because of the points gap. So we kind of need something to happen on Liverpool's side. They will probably drop points. It's just how many, and if we can maintain a level of consistency and not drop points or as many points as they drop. I do think losses would be very detrimental to our progression. So yeah, we just got to keep up the winning ways. Something that's a bit of a benefit to us now. So only one of our next 13 games is outside of London. So look, less traveling is what he said, by the way. Less traveling is always better. It is crazy that we have that many games so close to us, and I think it helps because of the amount of games we have to play in that period is very high as well. So for the next 13 games, only one of them is outside of London, which means the players don't have to be away from their families too long, which I think is very important. They don't have to travel at nowhere near as much, which means they get a bit more time to rest, which means they potentially get a bit more time to train. And Arteta can squeeze out a few extra hours across a week to really get the message across. That's all going to work in our favor. I think people highly underestimate how much of a toll traveling is on a part. Like, imagine you got to get to the airport, and then you got to go through the customs and yada yada yada, and you go aboard the plane, and then you're on the plane, and then the plane maybe you don't like flying too much, and then you land on the other side, go get on the coach, and then the coach driving, and it just takes hours away. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just not pointless, but like it just absorbs way too much like focus away from you. Like, all your traveling, you're kind of just in a relaxed state, and then to have to pick yourself back up, maybe you're tired, maybe it's draining, carrying the luggage, yada yada yada, having to stop to talk to people, yada yada yada, all of that. Like, but we can cut a lot of that out. And a lot of our rivals, they're going to be traveling abroad in Champions League. We're not. So I think it's highly beneficial to us. I think that's definitely something that works in our favors. In our favor, sorry. So then, look, he speaks about West Ham's strengths. Various ways to create big problems. They are a really physical side. This is 100% true. Really good in direct play, attacking second balls, where they have to dominate the game through the ball. Or when they have the space, they are really dangerous team. Set pieces and then individual quality they have. The front players can create in any moment, any situation to cause you trouble. They are really well coached. I think it's just Arteta being nice. Personally, like being nice, being a bit professional. Like, yeah, they do have a lot of that stuff, but I don't fear them at all. I actually really just don't fear them at all. Yeah, all of that stuff is well, and I agree with the physical side. They will make it a physical game. They do have players that in moments they can produce a bit of individual quality, but I think we got more than enough quality in our defense to just deal with them easily. On Erdegaard's performances, the way he prepares himself, how much work he put in with the physios and all the medical department to get in the best possible condition to face the period and importance of the season we are in at the moment and to hit the ground running. He was exceptional since the Chelsea game, and he's been very consistent in the last few games. This is all true. Like I said, he's really made the difference coming back, and you can clearly see the impact. And on whether Erdegaard makes his life easier, yes, good players who are so consistent and reliable, they can take the game to a different level and makes the players around him better. That's a huge quality of Martin, and yes, he's been missed. I think Erdegaard is the perfect player for Arteta's system. That's how important he is to Arteta, and that is how much easier he just makes life not only for the manager but for all players around him when he's playing on the pitch. So yeah, look, going into this game, I expect to win. I expect to spliffing. I expect to FIS up. If I was to go for a lineup, I'd probably go Raya in goal with Timber right back, Saliba Gabriel centre back, Calafiori left back. I'd probably go a midfield of Partey, Rice, and Erdegaard. I feel like Rice would be very good for this game. He's a West Ham lad. He'll be able to handle the emotions. I don't think that I would hope that the crowd would show him a lot of respect. I would hope, at least. But even still, I think he's mentally strong enough to deal with that. And we saw him step up against West Ham in the past for Arsenal. So yeah, I think he'll be someone that will be also able to deal with the physical element that West Ham will provide a lot. So I would play Rice personally. And then I would probably go Jesus on the left, Havertz up top, and Saka on the right. That's probably where I would go. In terms of my lineup. And again, prediction wise, I am going 5-0. Although I can't guarantee it will be 5-0, but I do think we'll keep a clean sheet, and I do think we'll score a lot of goals. I'm just having a bit of fun with it. You know what I mean? You got to enjoy the football while you can. So, look, people, these are just some of my thoughts on the game. Tomorrow, 5:30 kickoff. I guess another good thing, just before I wrap up, is if results go our way on the Saturday in our favour and we win, we move up to second in the league, which in the grand scheme of things doesn't mean much, but in this moment where we're trying to catch up to Liverpool, I think it will give us a big boost. Boost the morale, boost the confidence, boost the positive emotions, and I think it will allow us to step on and actually really put Amarim and Man United in a spliff. So yeah, people, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you made it this far, you're a G. Like the video. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe to the channel. We're trying to grow, and I'll catch you next time. Blessings.